set. I mean, we need a rebrand. I think you and I have been talking about this since 2016. Like, our brand is toxic in so many places. And it's like, you're a Democrat? Like, that's the stuff we get, like, in Ohio. And so we need a complete reboot. We need a complete reboot with the DNC. We need a complete rebranding. We got to get back established into our values. What does it mean to be a Democrat? People want to trust us. They don't want to go to Donald Trump. I'm telling you, the middle of the road, they're like holding their nose to vote for him. But we did not give them enough, like, we're reindustrializing, we're talking about American competitiveness. We're moderate on things like natural gas in Western PA, which ended up being a big issue that we can't even be for natural gas displacing coal. We're in a huge fight with the crypto industry. Like, what are we doing? Why would we be in a fight with the crypto industry right now? We've got to get back to the bread and butter policies of we are the party of the middle class. White, black, brown, gay, straight, man, woman, north, south. If you're a working class person, the Democratic Party is for you. And here's how we're going to build that future. We're going to reshore chips. We're going to build battery. We have a battery plant in Youngstown, outside of Youngstown, 2,000 auto workers. Just got a great contract, $30, $35 an hour, good benefits, good retirement. That's us. We did that. And if we can't also means saying no to some of the issues that, like, look, we're with you on these issues, but we have to lead with the economy. We have to lead with growth. The other that I think is really big, we can't be for solely redistribution. We're going to tax the bad guys who are rich, which we want people to aspire to make money in America. We're going to tax them because they're really bad people, and we're going to give you money. No, it's about growing the pie. It's getting back to, you want to look at it's the Bill Clinton campaign. It is the modern Democratic campaign. Look at the touchstone, reinventing government. Like, we let Elon Musk and Vivek take on reinventing government. The whole world knows that the American government is broken. Immigration's broken, healthcare's broken, education's broken. Every system that we have is broken. We had no reinventing government plan.
Oh boy, did this one piss me off, y'all. Oh boy. So, Joe Rogan, holy I mean, god damn it, what has happened? This is a guy who went from endorsing Bernie Sanders and having on lefties to now playing footsie with Donald Trump under the table while giving him a hot stone massage, the exact same thing with J.D. Vance. And now, like, seemingly every other week, he has a new billionaire asshole on, right? Now we got this Mark Andreessen character, right-wing venture capitalist billionaire. So come get your populist, dog. Come get your man of the people. The everyman Joe Rogan who, like, hangs out with Republican politicians and venture capitalist billionaires, bro. The everyman, bro. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Every single right-wing trope, dumb argument, this guy would parrot, and Rogan would be sitting there like, bro, really, bro? Bro. I mean, just so sad. So anyway, I'm going to give you probably the worst example here, although there's many other things in there that we could have discussed. Like, for example, they suck off the idea of Doge.
Not agreeing with us on everything. Having some heterodox views on politics, making some jokes that we don't like or even find offensive. Like, this is everyone's like, why Joe Rogan? Where's our Joe Rogan? It's like, well, we had Joe Rogan. He was our Joe Rogan, and then everyone said, fuck you, no, and they made a big fuss out of Bernie Sanders going on his show.
Also, everyone loved that Stavros clip last week. I wonder how many of those people know that his old show was called Cumtown.
For a year, I
probably weren't having Hillary Clinton on that in 2016. You know what I mean?
I was getting like messages for years. Go on Cumtown. Go on Cumtown.
Super funny show.
It was like, how do we appeal to men? How do we reach the men? And none of the people that do ever ask that question. And so it's like, no, you're not going to artificially create a bunch of apolitical, gigantic hits that are then receptive to having Democratic candidates on. You have to build a political movement and a culture on the left in which you're welcome in those spaces because you're not seen as being an imperious and scolding sour jerk.
Well, just the way you made that comment to Moulton, where you say, well, you said that in a dickish way. Like, if Democrats could respond to people who say shit like that by being like, hey, that was dickish. Or like, well, that was not, you thought that was funny? I didn't think that was funny. That was stupid, right? As opposed to being like, you are bad and we never want to see you again.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm going to, like, it's, I mean, how many times over the last couple of years has there been like entire news cycles devoted to criticism of a comedian for saying something stupid?
Department of Government Efficiency. And Rogan seems to have no idea that the whole point of Doge is going to be to destroy the entire social safety net.
Are we doing Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, we have to.
We have to.
We have to. We helped Trump get elected.
Yo, I got a special January 14th. Are we doing
Let's do Blow It Down Jr.
When do you finish shooting?
Well, maybe we do that at Mar-a-Lago.
Ooh,
no, we have to wait until he gets in.
On?
We have to wait until he gets
Trump's
in.
obviously going to walk on, dude.
Yeah.
There's a camera, bro.
100%. He's going to walk on if we
Let's
do Mar-a-Lago.
do it and play the day after, or right then.
We talked about it on the podcast, and Don Jr. reached out to me, said I can make that happen.
I posted a support of Tony Hinchcliffe, and Don Jr. was like, I love it.
Whoa.
Yeah. We can make it happen.
To be clear, Republicans argue about their message all the time. And I think I grew up with right-wing radio and obviously Rush Limbaugh. There's always been a robust right-wing media ecosystem. And the question I have is how much of this is actually about audience and what you will allow? Meaning the campaign didn't let Kamala Harris sit for 3 hours. And I don't think the campaign would have put her in front of Theo Vaughn to talk about his cocaine habit. Like Democrats have a different sense of like what's okay to do.
That's actually precisely the point. However, Bernie Sanders had no problem going on Joe Rogan years ago when Joe Rogan endorsed him. I've been on Rogan's show 3 times. I've probably heard over 100 hours of it in the past decade. A decade ago, Joe Rogan was a Bernie Sanders supporter who would get emotional talking about how important it is to legalize marijuana, who would get emotional talking about how important it is to get Christianity out of politics, in particular on the abortion issue, who had a host of left-wing opinions, including about healthcare. And liberals drove him away by calling him a racist, unearthing jokes he made, calling him a misogynist, really with no evidence.
When you make racist
calling him
jokes
a transphobe,
about people of color,
a lot of
calling you racist
comedians
is likely
make
going to
jokes all the
happen.
time. Calling him transphobic because he didn't like
He
seeing
also didn't
Fallon
love the
Fox
vaccine thing, right?
beating up.
To our point earlier.
That also used to be a left-wing opinion, to be against vaccines like 20 years ago. Again, so he actually hasn't shapeshifted very much to your point. The Democratic Party has shapeshifted and driven him away and alienated his followers.
I think what he ended up seeing was an American political sphere that shifted, and he found ways. He's a lot smarter than people give him credit for. He found ways to walk into where those people were.
Wow.
Yes, he was a proud, ultra leftist, and then he became a proud person on the right, largely because he saw shifting towards the right, and that's where his money and his audience could come from. He shifted because more of his listeners shifted, and that's where he drove it to. That's nothing more than consumerism at work.
Which of his beliefs changed in the past 10 years? It's really hard to point out which of his beliefs.
But can I zoom out from him?
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. But so when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
We're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have the legal note here.
The human legal.
But we went from Walter Cronkite. Basically, to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out there.
In defense, there are some really good news.
It's possible that Donald Trump did roam the earth when dinosaurs were here.
I had to read the thing about The View because I just thought it was funny.
What's
That's the only reason why I read that about me.
Dragon lover.
Joy Behar was trying to say that I believe in dragons.
Wait, what is this? I just heard about it.
I checked it. And the lady goes, did you double check this? She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
Should be like
you think they lived
Sasquatch,
alongside of
bitch.
people.
Wait,
it was from a wildlife biologist who came on my podcast. It was from Forrest Gallant. Gallant? How do I say his last name? Great guy. I love him.
Yeah.
He's awesome. But
there's actually dragons? I mean, we know there were large flying lizards during the times of dinosaurs, right? The only weight that it could possibly hold is that like a few of those somehow survived much later than we previously thought.
Jesus.
But do I think that there were dragons attacking human beings and civilizations? No, I don't.
J.D. Vance looks terrible.
It's so much cooler if there were.
Right.
And the fact that we know that pterodactyls did exist, that's cool.
Right.
What would be way cooler is if they existed with people.
Right, 2,000 years ago.
Why is that? But why is that so much cooler to us?
I don't know.
It's like people would dedicate giant chunks of their life trying to find out if pterodactyls.
No. This is the most important part.
I don't know these people.
Hey, this is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making. You didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only a part of what he said.
I can't
the
believe
other
Joy
part of what he
Behar
said
didn't
was
wait.
there was something before that where he was explaining encounters with giant reptiles. And then there's also, listen,
It doesn't make sense to me that a middle-aged woman could be dumb.
when you're worried about losing your job and you're worried about podcasts taking over and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us and he won, and this is fucking great, and Joe Rogan believes in dragons.
When people tell like, hey, so that's not true.
I just want to say for the record, I have no hate for Joy Behar. If I saw her, I'd give her a hug. I don't care. I'd probably say the same thing about me if I was her. It's no big deal. I don't care. But it's a silly thing to say, and it undermines your own personal credibility. If you say we're so good because we're supported by ABC News, and then you say Joe Rogan believes in dragons in the next sentence.
And no chance she comes back and goes, oh, guys, I was wrong.
No
Somebody told me the wrong
if
shit.
It was a joke, That would be. I
That's
know
a
she
funny
wasn't
line.
joking, but it would be hilarious.
It would be
Joe
hilarious.
Rogan, the guy who fucking believes in dragons. Fuck
I
that
wonder
guy.
if there
That'd be
were
hilarious.
some kind of flying lizards at one point in human history. You know,
Here we
if you
go.
go, well, this is what the Bigfoot myth is about. What you're seeing with Trump,
Which
regardless
one?
of his
Yeah.
flaws, what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is to the point where most people think that way. Most people think that way. They've had narratives.
What is a psyop? I keep hearing that.
Psychological operation
Whoa.
where they've decided to distort people's
The reality
perceptions
of
of
it.
things.
Yeah, when you tell like an older liberal that like the Obama deportations were higher than the Trump deportations, they go, no, what? No. And you go, no, let me just Google deportations,
Right,
Obama
right.
versus Trump, and you go, it's lower. They go, wait, what? Like, here's 19 straight articles saying that I'm right.
Yeah.
And they go, that doesn't make sense. And you go, right. Focus on what's giving you
Hold
the
on.
reality of the world.
Check this out.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If
She's a Republican.
if they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English.
Ooh.
And you have to wait in line.
Anyone
You
else
have to
hard?
wait in line. You have to wait in line, and everybody's cheering.
So,
2008, Hillary Clinton was more MAGA than Trump.
She's always been a Republican.
Damn.
But how about that?
Wow.
More MAGA than Trump.
And then
it's
you
all
couldn't believe
a
that if you
fucking
watched the news.
illusion. It's all a fucking illusion.
Flashback.
Need to triple the border patrol. Or now they're going to say we need to quadruple the border patrol. Or they'll want a higher fence. Maybe they'll need a moat. Maybe they want alligators in the moat.